down here in the state of Oklahoma. And looked
we're
pretty good there.
Yeah, we're
hey,
gonna get a
there's my
chance to
good
talk.
friend Frank talking to Chris Wilner.
Yeah, we were just looking at the race car store. So where's the GoPro? He said it's right up there. So there is a GoPro on the car, but you've got 38 main starts here. You've watched this event evolve. What's it been like this year with this many cars? Does it kind of ante up things a little bit for you?
It always does. It seems like every year more cameras get hit bigger and bigger, and the more show starts happening. So every year you want to win it more and more just for that reason, for the prestige, the notice, and you know, a little extra special with the cameras on this year. That kind of adds to it because something I never allow, but I thought, what the heck, it ain't worked in 5 years, so we'll see if we can't change it up.
Little racy in that heat race, too. You're slicing and dicing there with Jaden at the beginning. What's the track doing right now, especially as we get deeper into the night?
It's really good right now. They're keeping up with it, so it'll be there for us guys in the later races, but this one-way performance chassis that we're in now with the Outlaw wings, metric cycles, Engler machine and tool, it's been crazy, and we've been looking at the Micron Tom data all day long to get everything perfect, and we're getting there, hopefully, and hopefully we got something for him later in the evening.
All right, Frank Flood, another heat race win. He's going to try to grab another driller in 5 years. Maybe the cameras will work this time.
Love getting a chance to talk to Frank. Nice to see him get a win early here in the shootout as we'll move on to our 71st heat race. Trey Zorn and Steven Snyder Jr. front row of this one. Johnny Mordock and Jackson Wiggs, row number 2. Bradley Hewish, and on the fence, Kyle Spence in row number 3, Justin Robinson and Robbie Smith in row 4, Brandon Shaw and Hayden Holt in row number 5. Interesting outside row. You've got Golden Drillers out there with Wiggs, the reigning restricted division champion, going outlaw racing this year. Kyle Spence with 2 of them. Seen Robbie Smith do some big things here inside the arena as well. And by big, I mean he's put on some performances where he won, and by big, I mean he's put on a performance where he hung her up in the fence for a while.
Probably the most altitude anyone's had in here in a long while, so Robbie Smith knows how to be the star.
If you can't be fast, be spectacular, right?
Yeah, that's my
he
dad
does
always
good job
said.
of both.
If you can't win the show, be the show. Then that got expensive, so.
Kyle Spence out of Bear, Delaware in that R7 car. Normally used to seeing him run the shootout in his zone number 25K, but driving one of the Redota cars here this year, so he should be fast in that. Those cars are always up front. They're hypers out of PA.
Good chance for us to mention, find folks at Hyper Racing, and again, you can find more at hyperracing.com. And if you haven't gone in through their tech section and just read some of the, I mean, their essays that have been put on there, complete with diagrams and such like that Mike Dicely has written, you're missing a chance to educate yourself not only on the race car, but about racing in general. So check it out. The Tech Center at hyperracing.com is a must-see and a must-read if you're a fan of motorsports in any capacity.
And Steven Snyder Jr., who's had some success in Tulsa, picked up the KTM Dimbat Classic at Port City Raceway in October. Won a battle with Dason Persley to get to victory lane that night. And is on the outside of the front row, joined by Trey Zorn, the pole sitter in car number 3Z.
Oh, light's still on as last bit of moisture being rolled into the racing surface.
Did Zorn not make the call? Looks like the 17M of Johnny Mordock is on the pole of this one. And I don't see the 3Z out there.
I do not either. Good observation there. So no Zorn. Again, passing points are calculated from the drop of the initial green flag. So you don't get a freebie for somebody scratching in front of you. Mordock will officially be credited from starting first. Let's see if he can convert on it as the green flag's out. In and behind him is Hewish trying to move forward. Up on the high side, the 21 of Snyder, good-looking race car, as he will crawl around the top side of the speedway and lose some positions early. He wants to get to the bottom and finds a spot in line where he can pull her down and settle himself in right in front of Robinson. There's Spence, who's going to try to work the high side. Nickname isn't on the fence for no reason. Although right now, not a ton up there after the moisture just got put down. Spence will go to the bottom of 3 and 4, finds it more to his liking, and actually picks up a position as Robinson washed wide coming off of the corner. So moves Spence up and into 5th. It's Snyder in 4th, and Snyder trying to get underneath Wiggs, and Wiggs just gave him the spot going into 1. He took a wide entrance to the corner, and Snyder said, "Thank you very much. I'll just move on forward and into 3rd." as he'll try to rally back forward. And Wiggs having some trouble as he drops another position to Spence in short order. So Jackson Wiggs, a couple of laps that he'd like to have back in his pocket.
Tulsa Shootout debut in the Wing Outlaw division for Jackson Wiggs. Of course, picked up a mid-restrictor driller here last year as Snyder looks for the second position. He's got it in 1 and 2. Gets by Hewish. Now Spence looking to the inside of Hewish. Hewish was running in second. Now he's fallen off the podium back to fourth as Spence will get by him. All Johnny Mordock at the front of the field, lead nearly a second and a half.
Shows you the benefits of having just a little bit of patience on the behalf of Spence, who is all the way back in sixth. He's going to finish this race up and in third, as your winner is Mordock. Snyder 2, Spence 3, Hewish, followed by Wiggs. So a good win for Johnny Mordock, who unexpectedly ends up on the pole and converts. 100 points for him, as he'll move into a qualifier coming up later on the program. Next up, our 72nd heat race of the day. Started at 9 a.m. Tulsa time, and wherever you guys are watching, 5:17 Tulsa time here at the moment.
We're going to 118 or 120 today?
120. This is
what I thought.
race 72. Patrick Lundy and Shelby Hinton make up row 1. Jade Avedisian and Coda Aller row 2. Tony Pennick and Ryan Timms in row 3. Brandon Riviera, Austin Olstrom in row 4. And Keith McIntyre Jr. and Cortland Stevens make up row number 5.
Ryan Timms has been out of the micro all year, has been tearing it up. Picked up some ASCS sprint car wins, some Power I and USAC midget wins, so he has quickly turned himself into one of the best young drivers in the country. And coming back to the micro ranks where he spent a lot of time before his days in the sprint car and midget world.
Look at a bent up Nerf bar on Tony Pennick's 88 as he had some trouble earlier in the afternoon.
I'm looking at the lights inside of his wheels.
Oh, cool.
It's a unique looking race car all around.
Hey, I'm a square tail tank fan. Any square tail tank's got the thumbs up from me.
I don't believe it. Have we ever seen a square tail tank with a flap that hangs above like there is on that one?
I mean, it's just a wicker bill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I don't think
I
I've
think-
ever seen one that distinct.
Right.
That's
Even
pretty.
the Swindells has a little kick at the top. It's not like a flat piece that is a wicker, but
Yeah,
it
that's
has
a
a kick up at the back.
yeah, that's a real that's a real spoiler / wicker bill there.
I'd say the amount of air it catches is pretty slim at that position on the race car.
So you're not a believer in the Jason Johnson cone on top of the rear tail tank thing that's been a
No.
fad for a while?
Maybe back in the 90s when we had high back turkey seats and your shoulders were the only thing blocking the wind. Now when you have the full containment seats and everything else to go with it, I'm not guessing there's not a lot going on back there.
Well, we are ready to go. Lundy and Hinton down and through as you saw Tim swing out way wide looking for opportunity. The opportunity belongs to Jade Avedisian, though. Avedisian to the bottom, making her fans in Hawaii awfully happy as she leads lap number 1. Avedisian to the front. Hinton running the high side, trying to hang on to second. We saw Shelby get a win a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, car rides up on the back of Tim's. Couldn't make anything happen. Yellow flag out and on the racetrack as cars off the pace, and that is Olstrom's 28U. So Olstrom up and off racetrack. Believe we'll have a lap complete scored and 7 to go when we get back to action. So trying to get everybody back into line and in their proper places. Your leader will be Jade Avedisian. As let's go up top. Chris Wilner's got a winner's interview for us.
Yeah, standing here with Johnny Mordock, we were just talking first year racing a micro, and you win at the Tulsa Shootout in a heat race. This has got to be a pretty big day for you.
It's great. It's very great. It's actually my birthday today, so it's a great birthday present. It's unbelievable, you know. Just stood on the gas and stayed out front. I just want to say hi to my wife at home, Caitlin. She's just at home dealing with some things, so we'll be good. And I'm just miss her a lot. But yeah, so
And it's your 30th too, so that's a big one.
Yeah, 30th birthday. It's we're a really low budget team. Don't have a lot invested in this, so to have a heat race win here at the Shootout's great.
Well, congratulations. You could see it in the elation in his crew that congratulated him. Johnny Mordock, a heat race winner here at the Shootout.
Brian Ward, you got some thoughts from the infield. What's going on?
Yeah, just wanted to give a quick note on Tony Pinnock. You guys were talking about him. He's got those lighted valve caps inside that car. But that is one of 4 Stinger chassis that's here. Stinger chassis built by Richard Harvey, a former California native, ran the Stinger chassis sprint cars for years. He's now an Oklahoman. He's building just a few micro chassis. You'll see Richie Harvey, his grandson, and Austin Shores in them as well. Their cars have down tubes, but Stinger chassis, that's one of the unique that kind of looks like the CS9 that Tony Pinnock is in.
All right, thank you, Brian. Good little insight there on Pinnock, who's currently sitting in position number 3 in this Outlaw Wing heat race. Green flag is back out, and there goes Jade Avedisian checking out. Avedisian checks out. Meanwhile, ooh, bumper cars back in the field. Everybody drives through and drives away. Avedisian hitting Pinnock. Pinnock under fire on the high side. It's Riviera trying to get into him. Meanwhile, Timms, and I believe, it's the 10K of Lundy. Those two have swapped some chrome off of the Nerf bars a couple of times. They've got magnets attached to them.
Yeah, I'm going to guess they're not hanging out after the race today. Meanwhile, Jade Avedisian is pulling away from the field.
She's got a 1.2 second advantage, and even with the racetracking conditions that it is, running laps down in the mid 11-second bracket once again. She's quick.
Riviera is ripping the top. I don't know if he's making up a ton of ground on her. Time's running out for sure. There's a yellow flag, and all the time is made up.
Yeah, we got a car up in smoke here off the corner, and that is the 10K of Lundy. That'll break Ryan Timms' heart as he pulls in off the bottom of 4. I saw some fire, saw some smoke. Apparently it's out by now, and Lundy will exit stage left. Was running 5th at the time, so ruins a good run for him.
Yeah, Riviera is 7th to 2nd here. So big run for him. He was absolutely ripping the fence down before the yellow came out and was making up time on Jade. So we'll see what he can do here with 3 laps to go.
Got to imagine if Jade's got any of her D1 teammates back in the back straightaway, they're signaling her that, hey, look out, Riviera may be coming here in the final couple of circuits.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one of those things where you got a rhythm on the bottom, so you hate to switch it up and expose yourself to a big slide job, or if you do change up and try to find something that's a little bit faster for you.
My apologies. That was 10K of Coda Aller that went up in smoke. There are multiple 10s in that race. My mistake. I apologize.
There was some guys over in 3 and 4, Caleb, that were pointing to the top. I don't know which team member that is with, right? Harder to see from our vantage point over here, but there was 2 guys over there standing in turns 3 and 4 that were pointing at somebody to go to the top. I believe it is Jake Hagopian over there.
So if you're Avedisian and you see your guys pointing to the top right now, what do you do?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing we talked about earlier, maybe with Rogers. You just get a really good early start. I think the early is the key, just so you have as much momentum as you can get into turn 1. That way, you're not slowed up, and they can shortcut that corner on you and get a good slide. If you're going to go to the bottom, then you start as late as possible, so they don't have the run to go around you. I really kind of like the idea of going late here because Jade has the rhythm of running the bottom. So go late here, run the bottom, and then try to get to the top of 3 and 4 and rip around. 3 and 4 has really been the moneymaker on the high side for most of the day. So that move makes the most sense to me.
She's got 3 laps that she's got to do it in. And again, the reason we're saying this is that Riviera was catching her, albeit, not making huge chunks up, but he was a little bit faster there in those closing laps before the caution.
It's asking a lot out of Jade, but you can definitely use the screen to your advantage here and peek up at it as soon as you come out of 4 and see if you got a decent jump, didn't get a decent jump, and have a game plan accordingly. But that's something you're going to have to think out ahead of time and know when you look up, I'm good or I'm not good, and go with that plan.
Let's think of it from a points perspective here, too. She's got a 3rd to 1st run right now, which is 110 points. That's a good run. She'll be well into a qualifier and have the chance of making the invert and probably be in it at that point in time. 3rd to 2nd, still a very decent points run. Not the same, But, I mean, you could play it conservative, and if he beats you, he beats you, but don't just give up what you have.
Yeah, I think your second place runner here, Riviera, is ready to sell out for this win. Right there, Jake does get a good jump.
She went a little early comparatively to what we thought.
Yeah,
she went to the top.
That was a huge key to success for her. Now just get your momentum up and try to be as smooth as possible and hope that you can run around a little smoother than Riviera can.
Meanwhile, Hinton gets Pennick for third. And here comes Timms. Timms finally getting that car to come to life as he's looking for fourth in the late stages. White flag is out. Riviera close enough to Avedisian that if she makes a mistake, he might have a shot into the final set of corners, and Jade Avedisian going to get the heat race win. Avedisian, Riviera, Hinton, Timms to fourth, Pennick to fifth, followed by McIntyre, Lundy, Aller, Ulstrom, and Stevens, all with DNFs. So Jade Avedisian out of Clovis, California, from third to first, and we will move on to another heat race for the Winged Outlaw division. Look at the Hyper Racing ramp cam. Give him a second to roll on down as our evening progresses. War Wagon out there, and again, stripe at the bottom, stripe at the top.
Yeah, we do only have 7 more, Winged Outlaw heat races before I'm assuming we're going to see a pretty heavy track rework, maybe a 15 to 30 minute, full rework. So
you'd think so before 40 Wing A-class heat races that are coming up. You don't want to do a big rework right in the middle of those. That would be different.
Yeah, we're kind of in the same boat here with the Wing division. So we've seen them rework the top already. They haven't touched the bottom all day other than just put water on it. So I think we got a second here. Chris Wilner, you're up top with Jade Avedisian.
Out of the car quickly, Jade Avedisian from Clovis, California. Excellent job on that initial start to go third to first. Was that that was my go time? I know running the bottom, I have to get it on the start.
Yeah, definitely. Earlier this morning, I messed up on my start, and it cost me a lot this weekend for that class. But yeah, this track and this place, you have to be on it right from the start. So I just got to try to get a good start and stayed with that guy. He kind of missed it, and then they watered it that one before, so Shelby didn't have enough speed. So just stuck the bottom and came out with the win.
Well, good redemption in the Outlaw Wing. We'll see a little bit later. Jade Avedisian picking up the Outlaw Wing heat race win.
Remind you guys, too, that she missed the shootout last year. She was here, car was here, but she fell ill with something undisclosed and couldn't make any of her events. So nice to see her back and nice to see her winning as we get ready for our next heat race. Connor Wade, go for it.
Thank you very much. Heath Hindley, Kevin Bayer on the front row. Garrett Twitty, Stephen Curbo, row 2. Row 3, Dylan Beal, Brianna Lawson. Row 4, Mitchell Moles and Austin Lewis. Row 5, Chevy Boyer and Brody Graham. And Mitchell Moles picked up a heat race win in non-Winged Outlaw, and the defending Winged Outlaw Tulsa Shootout champion is after a heat race win in Winged Outlaw as well. What a year it was for Mitchell Moles. Went out to California twice, once to the Mark Hagopian Memorial at Plaza Park, once to the Cal Cup at Lemoore, and I believe he won a total of at least 4 A-mains in that time span that I was there. So Mitchell Moles certainly no stranger to victory lane. He had such a good year, Clinton.
Yeah, he's been on a tear this year and got in the Roth 83 sprint car and ran a bunch of races for the Roth team. So really cool opportunity there. Yeah, picking up a few wins. So I'm sure, coming back here, Tulsa Shootout, high expectations, looking to come back and get another Outlaw Golden Driller, or any Golden Driller for that matter.
Out at turn number 4, Heath Hindley, Kevin Bayer on the front row. Bayer, a household name here in the state of Oklahoma for a long time, crosses down to the bottom, gets the lead. Stephen Curbo in number 20, yes, into third, as we see the 40B Dylan Beal working through as there's Mitchell Moles in the 13, 3 wide almost. Now Moles going to cut to the inside of Garrett Twitty. Couldn't get by him out of turn 2. Twitty hanging on to the 3rd position. Down the back straightaway, Moles slides high, allows Curbo back by him. Curbo back into 4th. Moles drops to 5th. And now Brody Brand in the 66 is in the 6th position. Curbo going to get by Twitty for 3rd. Now Moles down to the bottom. Twitty slides way high. Moles to 4th. So it's Bayer, Hindley, Curbo, Moles, and then Twitty with Graham behind him. Now the 13 and the 20S going to go at it. both down on the bottom in 3 and 4. Brody Graham trying to make the high line work, doesn't help him right now. Halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. Moles all over that berm on the bottom of 1 and 2 as he tries to get to Steven Curvo. Hasn't been able to do so yet. Moles started on the inside of row number 4. He is up to 4. Would like to pick up another position or two. Top 2 are really broken away from the field here. Still there, but has not been able to challenge Curvo yet to this point.
Yeah, I think Moles had a few bad decisions there on lane choice and let Curvo get by. Now Curvo's so smooth and consistent around the bottom, there's nothing you can do. 1 lap left. He's going to try something on the high side and make something work. Does have a decent run down the backstretch. That's Kevin Bayer going to pick up the heat race win.
Checkered flag coming out. Bayer wins it. Henley second. Moles tried hard, but Curvo ends up getting the 3rd position. Moles 4th, 25th, and then Graham, Boyer, Beal, Lawson, and Lewis.
Man, Kevin Bayer's got to feel good about that one. Coming back here in the Expo building, it's been a little bit since we've really considered Kevin Bayer to be a complete factor come Saturday main time, but that heat race right there showed that he's got the speed in that CS9 chassis. He's got to be feeling good about that one.
Kevin Bayer is a name that has been around a long time. He's ran a lot of sprint car midget stuff as well as the micros. The former PowerEye micro champion, I believe, was the 2nd guy to ever do it back in 2006. As another heat race rolls on, there's a look at the Hyper Racing ramp cam out to the speed shot. As the next heat race rolls on track, Caleb, the starting lineup.
Brock Barrett sitting on the pole. Cole Kirkman will be right next to him. They are in positions 1 and 2. Garth Kasner and Scotty Milan making up row number 2. It's Dylan Huldell and Corbin Ruschenberg in row number 3. Behind him, Cameron Sorrells, Jesse Maurer, and Austin Taborski as quickly to green flag out of the corner. Jumping out to the early lead, it is Barrett holding the top spot. So it might be Kirkman holding the top spot as there's Barrett. Nope, it is Barrett and then Kirkman. Battle of a couple of silver 10 cars out in front. You got to pick up a letter really quick. Kasner in 3rd. Green 21 unmistakable as he's dragging the bottom of the racetrack. Looking for room around Kirkman, who's holding the bottom of the speedway.
Milan all over Kasner. Kasner down on the low side. Clinton, we see a lot of the drivers put that left front tire right there on that berm as much as possible. What are they trying to do by doing that?
Yeah, you're just trying to load your right rear tire and get as much right rear grip as you can to circle the corner. But I don't think the bottom's the place to be right now. Scotty Milan's showing us the top has come in. We're 3 races away from water, and that's the consistent pattern we see. That's Scotty Milan taking the lead from Brock Barrett down the backstretch.
Milan advanced from 4th to 1st in a matter of about 3 laps. So Milan has got it hooked up and humming on the high side. Meanwhile, the 10 cars go to war. Barrett low. Kirkman up on the outside groove. So we're zoomed in on Barrett, and I'm just trying to see what they're looking at. Usually when the camera guys give us a zoomed-in shot like this, we're seeing something.
I don't think his engine sounds very good. He's slowing for sure his pace. As you hear, white flag that time by.
Something's off kilter that we can kind of hear here in the booth. It's just a little bit off. He might be able to hang on as Milan's going to come off the corner, and he's going to get the heat race win. Kirkman, 2. Barrett hangs on for 3rd, and they're going to go to the pit stall and start diagnosing ASAP.
I believe that's the 2nd heat win of the day for Scotty Milan. In the 97, off to a pretty good start.
Let's check it up top. Chris Wilner with another update for us.
It's all smiles up here for Kevin Bayer. Welcome back to the top of the ramp, man. 4-time shootout winner. I know it's been a little while, but with this CS9, how good does this feel to kind of get back feeling